Hey everybody, welcome back to another lesson. Today we are going to talk about phrasal verbs that we use in the workplace. And we're going to look at just 10 phrasal verbs today because there are so many that we could possibly look at, but it's probably better to take them a bit at a time. So today we will look at 10 common phrasal verbs that you can use in the workplace. A little while ago, I did a lesson on phrasal verbs with get, and in that video, I explain a little more in depth about what is a phrasal verb, what are the different types of phrasal verbs, how do we use them. So if you want to check out that video, you can click on the link above here, or maybe it's here, I'm not sure, here or here, somewhere. Okay, let's get started. So as I said, there are so many phrasal verbs, it's probably impossible to know them all. It's definitely going to be impossible for you to try and memorize them all. So I think it's a good idea to block them into like social settings. So if you can imagine using the phrasal verbs in a specific social setting, I think it will be easier for you to remember them. So any social setting could be like, for today's lesson, we're going to talk about the work environment, so in the office. Another social setting might be at a dinner party, or in another environment might be like traveling, and phrasal verbs that you might hear or use when you're traveling. You get the idea. So I think it'll be easier to remember certain phrasal verbs if we put them in the right context. Okay, so our first phrasal verb today is follow up, follow up. And we use this phrasal verb when we want to investigate or to study something further. So a scenario might be you have asked one of your colleagues to research a specific type of product, and you may tell them that you will ask them about it in a few more days. So you might say, could you get some information on this product, please? And I'll follow up with you in 3 days. I will follow up with you in 3 days. So meaning I will come to you and I will ask you if you have found any information. I will follow up with you. Okay, phrasal verb number 2 is to fall through, fall through. And this phrasal verb simply means to fail. A situation might occur when you are perhaps negotiating with a client or a supplier of some sort, and you're going through some negotiations and you can't seem to come to an agreement. We can say that the deal fell through. The deal fell through, meaning we could not agree on something, and so it was a failure. The deal fell through. Phrasal verb number 3 is go under, go under. And this phrasal verb we use when we are talking about a business or a company that has failed due to financial difficulties. So if it's due to financial difficulties, we say go under. The company will go under if we don't find another investor. The company will go under or fail if we don't find another investor. All right, phrasal verb number 4 is cut back, to cut back. And that means to reduce something. So it could be, when we're talking about business, we could be reducing people. We could be reducing spending, so the amount of money that we're spending on something. We need to cut back on the amount of money we're spending on advertising. We need to cut back on the amount of money we're spending on advertising. Another situation might be the company is making cutbacks and people are worried about losing their jobs. The company is making cutbacks and people are worried about losing their jobs. So in this case, the cutbacks means that they are reducing the employees. All right, phrasal verb number 5, which is fill out, fill out. And this means when you complete a document with information. For example, when you send product to another company, you need to fill out many documents for the customs. So you need to complete many documents. You need to fill out many documents for customs. All right, phrasal verb number 6, and this is deal with, to deal with something. And we use this when we need to solve a problem or when we need to take action. So we could say something like, client ABC says their product arrived damaged. Could you please deal with that for me? Could you please deal with that for me? Meaning, can you call the client? Can you get the information as to what products were damaged? So can you deal with it for me? All right, moving on to phrasal verb number 7, and this is to call off, to call off. And the meaning of call off is simply to cancel something, to cancel something. And we can see it used in this phrase here. The meeting on Friday has been called off. We will reschedule for another day. The meeting on Friday has been called off. We will reschedule for another day. To call off or to cancel. All right, here's phrasal verb number 8, and this is to step down, to step down. And we say this when we are talking about someone who is resigning from their position or removing themselves from their position in the workplace. The marketing manager stepped down last week, so we're looking for someone to replace her. The marketing manager stepped down last week, so we're looking for someone to replace her. All right, phrasal verb number 9, to look forward to look forward to something. And this means that we are excited or happy about something that is going to happen in the future. We often use this look forward to in the final words of our business emails. So, look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to seeing you. So, of course, we can also use this in a conversation. For example, if you are having a conversation with a potential client, perhaps, and you have made an appointment for the following week, you could say, I look forward to seeing you, or just simply, I look forward to it. The client might say, I'll see you next week. And you could say, I look forward to it. All right, and our final phrasal verb that we use in the office setting is to branch out, to branch out. And we use this phrasal verb when we're talking about a company that is expanding something that they are currently doing. For example, if you have a company that is designing and manufacturing cars, and they decide that now they want to design and manufacture motorcycles, you could say the company is branching out into motorcycles. The company is branching out into motorcycles. So they are expanding what they're doing. All right, guys, that's the end of today's lesson. I hope this was helpful for you, and I will definitely have more phrasal verbs for business in another lesson. So I challenge you to try using these phrasal verbs in your job, in a conversation, or even just in an email to start off with if you feel more comfortable doing that. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.